here are the top 10 tools I would want in my web design business if I were starting it today. And I kind of am, because my son is starting up his web design business right now. He's getting ready to graduate from high school. He said, hey, Dad, I'd love to start a web design business. What do I need to get started? And these are the 10 things I wanted to make sure he had in his business with the budget of like $1,000 to kind of get everything running for the first year. Okay, so I build all of my websites on WordPress for two big reasons. One is if I'm reaching out to local businesses, it's more likely that they're gonna have a WordPress site than any other kind of site, and I'd like to be able to work with it if I need to. The second reason is WordPress is really good at little web utilities. Like I built this Google review app that I use as a lead magnet, and it's like the best lead magnet ever. Because if you go to a business owner and like, hey, would you like more Google reviews? Everyone says yes. It's a great way to start a conversation. It's a great way to help people. It's a great lead magnet. And I'll show you how to build it in Blue Theory. If you join Blue Theory, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So even if you just join for a week, just for the sake of this Google review app thing, it's awesome. So that's why I like WordPress so much. But then the question comes up, well, how am I going to build the WordPress websites? What theme or page builder would you use? So I landed on Cadence. The main reason for that is I feel like Cadence has a kind of like a marketing spin to it. Like there's a lot of marketing features kind of built directly into the theme. And so that's the platform that I'm using. If you go to lead.blue, it's a Cadence website. My son is using Cadence on his site. So I just really like that a lot. And the next one, so like number 2, kind of in that sort of marketing vibe, I think the second thing that I would definitely want to make sure that I would have is some kind of a forms plugin. So I've used Gravity Forms. Happy Forms is really good. If I had to pick a form plugin, I'd probably, if I was really forced to just pick one, I'd go with WP Forms because they've got a free version. And it's really powerful. If you just need even some relatively advanced stuff, the free version can kind of get the job done. Cadence actually has forms, like an advanced forms module built right into it. Kind of like what I was talking about, it's sort of like a marketing flair to the page builder. And in fact, like all these form plugins have this really cool feature where you can pre-populate form fields with the URL parameters. So if you're using UTM parameters to track where your inbound traffic is coming from, then you can actually save the UTM parameters as hidden fields in the form, so that when people start submitting your contact form and stuff, you can tell where your leads are coming from. Hey, is it coming from your Facebook post? Is it coming from your YouTube? Is it coming from the emails that you sent out? It's like really helpful to be able to know where your leads are coming from so you can do more of that stuff. So if you're not familiar with UTM parameters, check out this book that I create a whole ebook. It's totally free. It's called How to Track Leads, and it'll walk you through exactly how to do these UTM parameters. It's totally free. The UTM parameters are free. Google Analytics tracks it for free, or I use Clicky. That's like pretty much any web stats package will keep track of your UTM parameters for free, and it lets you see where your leads are coming from. And it's like once you start doing this, you'll never go back. You'll never want to go back to a point where you're like, oh, I got a lead, but I don't know where it came from. Imagine if you could walk into a client meeting and say, hey, look, I brought you these leads. I guarantee that if you went into a client meeting and said that, you would be able to land larger projects, keep the clients on board for longer. It's just crazy. Like I highly recommend doing the UTM thing. So grab this UTM book. It's How to Track Leads. Walk you through the whole thing. It's totally free. And I think you'll be really happy with the results of that. But these forms, they will automatically pre-populate where the UTMs come from so you can keep track of where all that is. So that's a really important thing. But then it comes to number 3, which is where do you host the site? So I've been hosting my sites for the past few months over at SiteGround. I've got about 20 sites over there right now. Got my son is hooked up with the SiteGround account. I was hosting at Flywheel before that, but Flywheel is like 10 times more expensive than the SiteGround account that I'm using. But it's not apples to apples. Like SiteGround is like cloud hosting, and I'm using the shared hosting managed WordPress account on SiteGround. So if you go to like lee.blue/SiteGround, you'll see the exact package I'm using. It's the Grow Big one. And the cool thing about that is at this point in my life right now, I'm working primarily with local businesses. So I'm not doing like international e-commerce campaigns and stuff like that would have like a really heavy load on the server like I was doing before when I was hosting a lot of stuff around Flywheel. So with these local businesses, you get like 20 gigs of disk space and 100,000 page views or something like that. So you can that's like a lot of websites that you can put on the server for like $60 a year. It's the first year, it's like $5 a month, $60 a year. For the first year, not $60 per month, $60 for the whole year. So you can have unlimited websites, managed WordPress hosting with backups and all that stuff. The value is just through the roof. So I've actually moved a ton of websites off of Flywheel into SiteGround, and my son's using that too. And that's where I host websites. I think it's a really great it blew my mind. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about how excited I am about SiteGround. So that's where I'm hosting my websites. But then you have to deal with email. So SiteGround comes with email, but I don't use it. And for a couple of reasons, there's 3 different types of email that I need to deal with. The first one is transactional email. So like when people start submitting the contact form, I want to make sure I get that message and it doesn't go to my promotions or spam folder. I want to get it right away. If I'm sending a thank you message because they submitted the contact form or something, I want to make sure the client gets it. So like deliverability is really important to me. And so I found MailerSend. So MailerSend is actually free to use for up to 3,000 emails per month. Now you do have to put your credit card in, because if you don't put your credit card in, it kind of caps you at like 100 emails. But as soon as you stick your credit card in, then it opens it up to 3,000 emails. They don't bill the card. It's sort of like maybe like a validation or something like that. But MailerSend is awesome. You can connect the same MailerSend account to a bunch of different websites. I have a bunch of my sites over on SiteGround, all sending email through MailerSend. So it's like a legit SMTP server. The deliverability is really good, and I don't have to worry about trying to set up SiteGround email. So that's for the transactional emails. Then I use MailerLite. So what are we up to now? So now we're up to number 5, MailerLite, which is what I use for my email marketing. So that's like I'm collecting email addresses, doing automations, have lead magnets where people sign up for stuff like your newsletter or whatever. I've been using MailerLite for that. They do have a free account that can get you started, but I would recommend just kind of bump it up to the paid account. I think it's like $10 per month for 500 contacts, and that'll get the MailerLite branding and everything off, gives you a few extra features. So I would do that, build your email list, nurture those leads, use that. It's a great platform. I've been using them for over 5 years, maybe like 7 years, and I really like them. It's just great. So MailerSend, MailerLite, they're kind of related, like they're kind of sister products with each other. And I love that for transactional and marketing email. But then there is like the personal email, like when you send an email to your client. And you could use your SiteGround email for that, or your web host might provide an email option, but I don't like to use that. I, again, want to really dial in the deliverability, and I want to have independence from my host, because it might be the case that I might want to move from one host to another, and I don't want to have to migrate all of my email from one host to another. That's such a pain in the butt. So I'd much rather have a dedicated platform just for email. So I'm using Fastmail. So if you go to fastmail.com, I think it's $5 per month per user. It's totally worth springing for that. It's super fast. It's really secure. They don't read your emails. It's not like Gmail or anything. And it's awesome. I've been using them now for, over a decade. I've had email over at Fastmail. So that's what I use for email. And then you're going to have to send invoices. So the next one is how to send invoices. And when I was doing a lot of invoice sending, I was using QuickBooks Online. I didn't tell my son to get QuickBooks Online because it's kind of expensive. I think it's like $30 per month. Honeybook is good. Wave is good. But I just said, hey, why don't you use Invoice Ninja? You can get an Invoice Ninja account. They do have a free account. He's going to use the $12 per month one. And it connects in with Stripe, so you can take credit card payments. And it's just like a super basic invoicing platform. It's called Invoice Ninja. You can go to invoiceninja.com and find it. I'll put links to all of these resources in the description so you can get access to all that stuff. But it's just a low-cost way to send legit emails that you can design. What I mean is you email your invoices to people. You can design what the invoice looks like with your logo and everything. And it's just really nice. So Invoice Ninja is what I use for that. Now we're up to number 8. So ChatGPT is what I put in there for number 8. I think it's crazy at this point not to have a ChatGPT Plus account, or the $20 thing, because I don't think it's a good idea to say, hey, write all my website content on ChatGPT or write a blog post about roofing or something. I wouldn't do it like that. But it's great for ideation, and it's great for content optimization. Like if you're going to have maybe the headline on your website's not converting at the level that you want, you get a pretty high bounce rate, and you're like, well, how could I rewrite this headline? And you can get lots of options from ChatGPT. Plus, if you have the Plus, ChatGPT Plus, then you get access to custom GPTs, and you gotta check that out. I think I have a video about custom GPTs on this channel, but there's all of these specific tools to help you do everything from thumbnails to writing proposals to analyzing books. Like there's so much stuff that you get access to that it's just crazy not to spring the $20 and get a ChatGPT Plus account if you're really serious about running your business and everything, it's just such a productivity boost. So I would do ChatGPT as number 8. Number 9 is you're going to need some images from somewhere. Now, ChatGPT can create images for you, but you'll probably also want some stock photography. And so the stock photography platform that I've been using for the last forever, it seems like, I guess at least 3 years, it has been Adobe Stock. So if you go to stock.adobe.com, the package that I'm using is the $29 per month 10 credit one. So I can get 10 image downloads every month for $29. So it's like basically like $3 per image. But the cool thing is if you don't use all your credits, they roll over to the next month. And so I don't usually download 10 images every single month for everything that I'm doing. So I've had, over the years, my credits have kind of stacked. I've got over 100 credits stored up for me. So I really like the rollover thing. If it wasn't for the rollover thing, I wouldn't be happy with it. But another way that I've been using Adobe Stock, so I told you my son has just started his web design business. We got his logo off of Adobe Stock. So his initials are MB. So we went to Adobe Stock, typed MB logo, and there's like thousands of like combinations of those initials with like any vibe that you can think of. And so we just kind of scanned through until we found that we liked, downloaded the image, and boom, in like 5 minutes and for $3, we've got a logo that looks really, really decent. So that's what I would do for stock photography. And now we're up to number 10, which is image manipulation software. So like you're going to have to edit images. I use Pixelmator on my MacBook, but he doesn't have a Mac. He has Windows. He's got a PC. So I went back to, for like maybe 5 or 6 years, I was using Linux as my desktop operating system. I used to write a ton of code, and Linux was my main thing. And I was using GIMP. So GIMP is available on Windows, Linux, Mac. It's totally free. It works a lot like Photoshop, but it's not quite the same. The layers in particular work a little different on GIMP than they do on Photoshop, so you have to kind of get used to that. But YouTube is your friend. Like anything you want to do on GIMP, just search for it on YouTube and you'll find a free tutorial. Somebody will show you how to do it. And that's a free app for managing your images. Desktop app, runs on all platforms. It's awesome. And those 10 things will get you everything that you need to run a really nice web design business if you are starting it today. Now, next week, I want to talk about like the 3 skills that you need in order to be successful. So we had a chance to talk about tools today. We'll talk about 3 major skills. So don't forget to subscribe for that one. But the UTM parameter thing is such a big deal. I have a whole video right here on how to track leads that kind of goes with that book that we were talking about. So check out this next video right here. Figure out how to do this UTM thing, grab that book, and then I'll see you next week for the 3 skills that you need in order to be able to like crush it today as a web designer. Awesome. I'll see you then.